Hey there, everybody. Don Evans here from WatchReport.com, and today I have the Reverie Diver. Before I get into this, though, I just want to wish everybody a happy holidays. This is being recorded a couple of days before Christmas, and this year, obviously, has been crazy for everybody, myself included, and hopefully next year is going to be a lot better for everybody. But let's go ahead and jump into this watch. This is, as I said, the Reverie Diver, and that's a little bit of a generic name. Just, hey, it's, here's our brand Reverie and it's the diver. But they originally had a different name, but there was some trademark issues, I believe, with that name. So they just switched it to diver. This ran on a Kickstarter campaign earlier this year. It was fully funded. Now, there have been some prototype reviews of this watch before that Kickstarter campaign. I did not get my hands on it until now. So this is the full production model. Now you can get this with two different bezels. This is the 12-hour bezel. If you were wondering why it doesn't have a dive bezel, that is an option that you could select on the website. You do get it with the stainless steel bracelet. You're also going to get it with a rubber strap, which I'll show during the course of this video as well. But let's go ahead and get into the full specifications. You have a 40 millimeter diameter case, 43 millimeter lug to lug. This is that hooded case design, so you get a much shorter lug to lug, which is good if you have a smaller wrist or just like to wear smaller watches in general. It is just under 12 millimeters thick, or thin as they like to say, 20 millimeter lug width. You have brushed and high polished surfaces with a screw down crown. It is 200 meters water resistant. The movement here is the Miyota 9039, which is a no date Miyota automatic movement. You have a guilloche dial with 4 color choices. Your color choices are going to be this blue that you see here, a green dial, a silver dial, or I want to call it red, but it's almost like a plum color, a red purplish color. Very, very nice shade of red, a little bit different. As I said, you do get that extra rubber strap, and each color is limited to 125 pieces. It also comes with a nice watch roll. If you're wondering what the price is $395. That is the current price listed on the Reverie website. So let's go ahead and dive into, pun intended, this watch and talk about it and see what it's all about. All right, so if this is your first time here, I want to go ahead and ask that you hit that subscribe button and also that notification bell. That way you never miss any of our content. And if you want to see what we have coming in for review before it is here on the channel and website, head over to Instagram. It is at Watch Report, as you see on your screen there. And now you can also hit a notification bell on Instagram as well, so that way you never miss any of our uploads there. So Reverie is a brand that has been around since 2014. Based on, and looking back through their catalog and remembering this brand, this is their first dive watch, hence now it's just called the Reverie Diver. Not sure what they'll do moving forward, if it'll be the Reverie Diver 2 or 3, or if they'll come up with different names if they decide to do dive watches. So they describe this as an elegant style dive watch, and I think that would be correct. As I said, you have that hooded lug case, which I always like these style of cases. It really lends itself very nicely to bracelets, but of course straps as well, and that way you don't have any lug gap with your straps. So this is a great watch. It's only 20 millimeter lug width, but this is going to be a great watch that if you want to switch it out to the rubber strap that's included, any of your leather straps, canvas straps, whatever. The blue dial on here is very, very beautiful. I really like the shade of blue that was chosen. The guilloche dial is really, really striking. It sparkles in the light. It is very nice. Elegant really is the right word for it. You have very unique style hands, and I really like this entire dial layout. The applied markers, the hands. I love that seafoam green. I think I'm going to call it seafoam green second hand. Very nice look to this one. As I said, this does come in a couple other colors: the silver dial, the green dial, and that plum red dial. Now, this one does come with, he sent it with the 12-hour bezel. I gotta be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of this 12-hour bezel. It's okay, but when I look at it and I see Reverie Dive Watch, I'm just not sure why you had to offer two bezels. That may maybe go back to a bonus maybe of, say, the Kickstarter campaign or something, but it's called the Reverie Dive Watch. Put a dive bezel, the elapsed time bezel on there. At least that's my opinion on it. Otherwise, obviously, this is just what I have here to show you, but you can go to the site and select the dive bezel option. Bezel does turn very nicely. It's easy to grip. Love the knurled screw down crown. I'm always a big fan of this style of crown. And yes, we've seen that knurling and that pattern on a lot of different watches, but it's very functional, and I do think it adds a little ruggedness to this otherwise a very elegant looking dive style watch. The case is very well. And you know what? It's funny. You say that about a lot of watches. And I say it, a lot of watches I review. Oh, the fit and the finish, and it's very well machined and it's very well brushed. But it really is. The top of this is brushed, but what's nice about this is, yes, you do have a nice high polished chamfer on the sides of the case, but it's the sides and almost the top of the case at the same time. It's a very nice, elegant style look to it. Very well finished, especially when you're looking at that $395 price point. We're talking 400 bucks here. A lot of times, as you know, a lot of reviews that I've done here on this channel lately, and I've kind of moaned about it. This is $400, and it's a Miyota 9039 automatic movement. You are not getting a Seiko NH35, which has become the go-to standard for watches at this price point from microbrands these days. The bracelet, I would say, the bracelet is very nice. I shouldn't say that. The bracelet is actually very, very nice. It is a pin collar, excuse me, not a pin and collar. It is a straight pin bracelet, though, so you're not going to remove it with screws. You are going to need, your regular little tool and hammer to remove the length. Now, to me, that's not a big deal to have the pins. I don't have a problem removing the pins. I usually do have a problem moving the pin and collar just because the collar ends up on the floor and I just get aggravated. But nothing wrong with how this bracelet is being sized. The clasp on it is very similar to what you would see on the Janelle watches that I've reviewed. I know all the, talk about those watches, but I guess we won't mention them again. Everybody gets in a tizzy, but very similar style, if not almost identical style clasp that you have on here. Very functional clasp, though, because you have that nice internal ratchet extension on it. So this bracelet is very, very nice and very functional. I'm just not sure it matches the case at all. It has no high polish on it anywhere. And but again, you know what? We're talking $400. How custom are we going to get of a bracelet on a watch like this that also comes with a very nice rubber strap with a very nice buckle? I'm showing it to you on the rubber strap throughout this video so you can see what it looks like on both the rubber and the bracelet. I'm not sure which I preferred on more. Both of them fit on my 7.5-inch wrist just fine. I like the way the rubber strap looks, but the bracelet looks good as well. And you're also getting, the travel roll as well. So for $400, you are getting a lot. The case back is nice. You do see that Miyota 9039 movement through it. Not the biggest fan of the exhibition case backs when we're talking these very mundane looking movements such as this. That's just not my preference. I know some people, no matter what the movement is, they absolutely love to see it. They want that exhibition case back. I go the other way, and especially when I see Diver on a watch, I want to see a nice, solid, stamped, etched, whatever kind of case back. That's what I want to see. Loom on this is pretty good, even though that you don't have loom filled in the entire length of the hands, and the applied markers, the applied stick markers, are actually pretty thin, but it is dual loom. The C3 and the BGW9 glows pretty nice, actually. I did video here of a minute. It is sped up for the video, but you can get a nice look at it. It glows pretty nice. It's not going to light a hallway or anything crazy like that. But if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're wearing this and you need to know what time, you should be able to see it. I think overall, this is a really nice watch, a really good solid dive style. And the reason I keep calling it dive style, and I know some may get aggravated with that, especially this one, it has that 12-hour bezel, so you can, track another time zone if you want. Even if this had the elapsed time bezel on this, yes, you can obviously go ahead and dive with it, and you do have the dive extension on there and everything. For some reason, this just lends me more to that dive style. But hey, obviously, if you're a diver and you want to take this watch, I just dropped my remote control for the camera. That's the noise you heard. But obviously, if you want to take this watch diving, you could. But the majority of people that are probably going to buy this aren't going to be diving at all anyway. That's just the fact of it. But I do like this watch a lot. I think it's a really great value for $400, specifically for the case finishing, that dial work, and that Miyota 9039 movement, and the fact that you do get that extra rubber strap along with it. And it's a pretty nice quality rubber strap. It's not silicone. It's not going to catch a bunch of lint and dirt and dust and everything like that. So if you want to see more about this, there is a ton of links in the description down below, so go ahead and check them out. There will also be a link to the written review of this watch, more of my thoughts and comments on it, along with a bunch of my photos. As I said at the beginning, happy holidays to everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one.